that is very important. The repeat listening and learning is definitely going to help you. So we understood in the last session about purifying the mind, and purifying the mind means rise in awareness. So every time the mind picks up some impulsive nature, some habit, internal agitation, that is the moment your mind becomes the worst master. But we have to make the mind a faithful servant. You make the mind faithful servant, it is the purity of the mind. And the mind continues to be the master, then it is the impurity of the mind. Why? Because when the mind is the master, it works impulsively, habitually, with a craving. That is very, very important. So, we also understood we also understood in the last session about the real self and the false I. Real self and the false I. I feel before I go for today's topic, let us practice so that you are relaxed and calm. You raise your awareness and attention, and then it would be worth listening. So you are, let us close your eyes. Understand also, find out the best place to be seated, position and posture. One thought just popped up in my mind. When I feel internal feeling is tiredness and fatigue, that too is a subtle impurity of the mind. That I'm going to talk at a later stage. It is a subtle principle. And the best thing, whenever we feel tired, it is better to do the practice. So, please, now you see the real self is eternal, all pervading. It never gets tired. It is me and my mind, experiences, some sensations which I claim as fatigue and tired. So eyes are closed and you are looking at the entire body and the place. You just shift your awareness outside the body. That is another way to rise in awareness and get rid of the fatigue and the tiredness. So become aware of the space all around your body. Awareness of the space in the room. Awareness of the space in the room. And now we reflect the space inside the room and outside the room. Just ask your mind, is it one or two spaces? If it is one, why should not I be aware? Why I should not be aware of the space inside and also outside? Fact is that the space is one. So what is the impurity of the mind? Very subtle, which we don't notice. That we will take up when we go deeper into the journey of the Eastern wisdom. So now the space in the entire county is the one. So it means I'm just sitting in that space. In the country it is the same space. County, country, continent, earth, galaxy is one space. So now another problem, another issue to understand. When we limit the mind by our thought, by experience, the fatigue is natural. No doubt there is a physical fatigue. There is a physical fatigue. I'm not talking the physical fatigue. 90% it is mental. Someday I have to give 6 and 7 hours of speaking to different groups of the people, addressing their challenges. So if the mind remains inside, what I feel, every session I feel more energy instead of fatigue and tiredness. I'm not only telling you from my own experience, but also so that is being we have done. Now we are being comfortable. That will also remove your fatigue. Comfort means why it will remove? It will remove because mind changes the direction. Changes the direction means from the world outside to inside. So what does it mean by inside? Inside means we are raising our awareness. And I've been telling you it's so simple a step. Now, intellect must have a conviction to do, even if you do the first practice and the second step. This is comfort. You will feel the calmness. So, but when we feel tired, we mainly like to repeat it. So, your mind looking at the neck joint. Now understand that look means you know, you feel the neck joint, you are aware of the neck joint at this moment. Just maintain your awareness, stay there and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. I'm not telling you to do anything. Maintain the status quo means the place, position, and posture. Your mind is moving. There is an inner perception. Mind is moving. There is inner perception. That inner perception is known as that you move the mind on the shoulder joints. Be there. So what it means, the inner movement of the mind on the shoulder joint means what? You know the shoulder joint, you feel it, you are aware of it, and you maintain your awareness. You experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. How simple. Sometimes we still feel the fatigue. Let us don't pay attention there. Just pay more attention to the journey. So the same practice we are doing for fatigue to calmness, and we will see what happens. So now move the mind on the hip joint. When I say move the mind, means you know, you feel, you are aware of the aware of the hip joint. There is another understanding. When I say move the mind on a particular part of the body, your mind is already there. It does not take any time. It does not take any time, distance. There is no distance at all. The moment I say move the mind on this part of the body, like the hip joint, that is why I say you know, you feel, you are aware of the neck joint and experience sensation, comfort and steadiness. Sensation, comfort and steadiness. Now entire body. You see, in fatigue is also is a physical anxiety. I'm using a different term to make you understand. It's a physical anxiety. So in that physical anxiety, mind tries to move and distract the attention by moving the body. So just maintain your awareness and attention and do not move the body. And now when I say move the mind on the entire body, so that you feel, you know, some sensation you feel in the skin of the body as the mind moves from the top of the head to the toes. Oh yes. And you feel the skin? Yes. And ultimately you experience sensation, comfort and steadiness. Yes, this practice you should be doing whenever you feel anytime, anywhere you feel, you will find that you will be able to relax. Another beautiful principle, it says, when we balance the flow of the prana or energy, it is different than the breath. Whatever the sensations we feel, it is a movement of the prana. If we balance the flow of the prana on the right and the left side of the body, you will experience deep calmness and relaxation. That is what we are going to do. So what I will do, and what you do. I will simply name the part of the body. You move the mind there. You move the mind there. You feel, you know, and experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. Calmness, basically, consciously we feel as if deepening of the sensation. As we have a deepening of the sensation in the fatigue, now it is a liberating sensation. How can I define? No, you will experience it. So we will start on the right side of the body first. So I told you I will name the part of the body. I'll be silent for a few seconds, maybe 2-3 seconds. In that, your mind moves there. You stay there and experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. Right arm from the fingers to the shoulder. Sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. The right side of the chest or rib cage. Mentally divide the right half of the chest. Sensation. You are saying, even you can say mentally. You say mentally, sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness, gently. We are at present taking care of the right side of the body. The right half of the belly, from the last rib to the waistline, and you say mentally, sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. The entire right leg from the right side of the waist to the toes. Sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. You know, sometimes the crazy mind does not want to believe how such a simple steps can help me calm down. How we feel that the mind continues to bring in the thoughts and the feelings of fatigue. So it opposes. That is what I say. So even if that comes, you need not to worry. Now the entire right side of the body. Right side of the body means you move the mind from the right hand fingers going up to shoulders, to the right half of the chest, to the right half of the belly, to the toes. You may feel some vibes, moves with the mind, and experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. Can you do once again? Moving the mind on the entire right side of the body. And say sensation, comfort, and steadiness and calmness. If you find some sensation, vibes going with the mind, that is a wonderful experience with you. Now we will go to the left side of the body, the left arm, moving the mind from the left hand, tips of the fingers to the palm, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder. Say mentally and feel it. Sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. What we did, because now we focus on get rid of the fatigue, and that is why I introduced the niyas. On the right side of the body we have done, we are doing it on the left side. The left half of the chest. Left half of the chest, how you move the mind from the half collarbone on the left side to all the ribs, reaching to the last rib in the front, in the back, as if it is a pocket you are recognizing, you know, you feel, and experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. Moving the mind on the left half of the belly. Again, you just find the boundary of the left side of the belly. It starts from the last rib in the middle, then it goes down to the waistline in the front along the left side, and you feel, you know, you experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. Moving the mind on the left half of the belly you have done. Now the entire left leg, from the left side of the waist to the hips, thigh, knee. Your mind is moving gently. You feel some vibes there. If you don't feel, we'll repeat it. Knee and calf, ankle, heel, toes. The entire left leg. You feel, you know, here is the left leg, you feel, and you experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, and yes, maintaining that state. Mind also likes to fall to the sleep. Now the whole body, then move your mind on the entire head and the neck. Moving means you know, you feel, you experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. We are using the power of the subtle mind. How? Move the mind, not the arms. Move the mind on both the arms. From fingertips to shoulders. Move the mind on both the. We are visualizing, we are feeling. That means you know, you visualize, you experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. Move the mind on the entire rib cage or the chest region, from collarbone to the last ribs in the front and the back. Experience sensation, comfort, steadiness, calmness. Move the mind on the entire belly or the stomach. We already know the area of the stomach, above the waist, below the ribs. So you know, when the mind moves means the mind is knowing, feeling, and experiencing sensation, comfort, steadiness, and calmness. So we pick up the sensations of the calmness. Sensation is the same. Sensation minus the emotion of fatigue or the thought of fatigue is the sensation of calmness and steadiness. And now both the legs. Mind moves on both the legs. You see, it is such a simple, but there is a striking difference between the previous practices. So we added the nyas to balance the prana. What happens when you balance the prana? You always remain calm and relaxed and cool and energetic. So both the legs, mind moves on both the legs, from the waist to down both the thighs, knees, calves, ankles, toes. The entire body, from the top of the head to the toes. Move the mind on the entire body. I am repeating what we did last time. You move the mind from the top of the head to the toes as if mind moves with the vibes or sensation. As the mind goes down, these sensations are movement of the prana. Movement of the prana, that is, I just, when we balance the prana, we have the calmness, we have more energy. The fatigue should go. Move the mind once again. Move the mind once again. Then the entire body, saying mentally, sensation, comfort, steadiness and calmness. Now experience the change. What is the change? You may feel deepening of the sensation. So it is always good to do this practice before you go to sleep, so that you are totally relaxed and calm before falling into sleep. So feeling deepening of the sensation. Now these sensations may be in the form of tingling, sleepiness, laziness, numbness, freezing, heaviness, lightness. So there are sensations are of many types. Well, if laziness is there, or sleepiness are there, so mind wants to go down. It wants to fall down into unconsciousness. In the beginning that is okay, but not for you. You are a seeker. So there are many reasons for it. We need not to worry. The best way is to repeat the practice, to dissolve laziness or sleepiness. It will surely go. And now, looking at the breath, we will pick up the last part of it. Today, what the breath is going in and coming out. Very good. So breath is going in and coming out. No change. You feel the sensation and start counting the breath. When the breath goes mentally in one, when it comes out, one, in two, out two, go on counting the breath. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Feel the sensation. Bring your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms. Place it in your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. How are you, sir?
I'm all right.
Feeling relaxed?
Yeah, I was falling asleep still, but
Feeling sleepiness?
yeah, I was falling asleep.
Yes, yes, yes. So many reasons, but obviously we can bypass that reason if we repeat the practice. That sleepiness or the laziness dissolves. So it takes time and you are doing the practice. So after understanding that, will you fall into sleep when I speak or you will remain awake?
I think I'll be good now.
Huh?
Yeah, it should be good now.
It should be good. So we move to the next lesson is rewiring your life from the external hustle to the inner flow. So for rewiring, we have already understood that there is a real self and there is a false I. The false I continues rushing. It is running after the pleasures of the world outside. But that pleasure it is seeking is imagined and projected by the mind. That is the problem, and we are not able to understand this. The mind is not able, it projects itself, and the mind forget. It says, no, no, I will always find pleasure in eating pasta, or I'm always finding pleasure in taking a drink, I feel good sensation. So it is a projection of the mind. So now you see what I said, we have to rewire our life from the external hustle to the inner flow. When I project pleasure outside, it is an external flow. It prevents the intellect to contemplate and reflect about the real self. So there comes a blockage. And that blockage is not gone, then we will not be able to find that real self. It means we have to connect by some understanding, by some practice. That is where the Eastern wisdom comes. Another problem is that there is always an external flow. For seeking pleasure, we are running after the object. We are not running after the pleasure. Did you understand? We are running after a beautiful girl who will make me happy. So I'm running after an object with a hope. Otherwise, best part of the understanding is that no girl and a boy can make anyone happy. That needs to be understood clearly, but mind impulsively runs after. So what we are saying, that first you understand that you are running after is a wrong pursuit. We have to reflect that happiness is not located in the girl, in the pasta, even if it tastes good, or in anything in the world. So my mind should remain aware of that fact. The moment the mind is aware, then this mind can run away. Oh, pleasure is not there. Ah, it's so simple, so let me run away from it. So that running away and running after, once we understand it clearly, then we can change the algorithm of the mind, and that algorithm will help us to move the mind within. That is what we are going to do. Now, our master and entire Eastern wisdom says that you cannot remain in stress for 24 hours. You cannot remain in anxiety 24 hours. There is something in us that changes, that substitutes, and we move into the state of the calmness and the peace. There is nothing, there is no one in the world who have never experienced the inner calmness and peace. Inner calmness and peace, how you have experienced? There is no object, there is no reason. You wake up in the morning, you are totally fresh and calm. You're not rushing after any object. Same thing, it happens at your workplace, at your home, communicating. So it means the very essence of the real self is peace, it is happiness, it is love, it is truth, it is wisdom. And once we treat the path of this inner flow, we change ourselves. So let us say it is a divine will. There is a impulsive will. What is the impulsive and habitual will? Let me go have a pasta or have a drink. This is the will. What is the divine will? Let me look inside and find that calmness first, and then I will go for the pasta. So once you move your mind, start looking inside, you are moving towards the divine will. Don't bring in any religion and God and goddesses, divine will. Let me move the mind within, it stays there, it goes into the state of the calmness. If not, that is what we are doing. We are treading the path. Then another thing that we can run away from it is an attitude of surrender. Mind is craving for pasta, you say to your mind, I drop this thought of craving for the pasta in place of the calmness inside. You have to say it mentally. In the beginning, it will take a lot of effort, but gradually it will change. You cannot master the mind by force, by resistance, by reaction, by fighting. So when you want to control the mind by fight, by resistance, by pressure, by force, it will burst out. That is why many masters says it is like controlling the uncontrollable. It can only happen by the divine will. It can happen by the surrender. 2. And it can happen by contemplation and reflection, so that my ego do not push me to run after the objects of the world, creating a pleasure, imaginary pleasure. These are 3 points. One is the divine will, I explained briefly. Second is the surrender, letting go of the need to. No, I'm not controlling you, mind. I'm just leaving that thought. Craving for the pasta, for example. The third one is the ego control. Ego control, you have to contemplate and reflect. Where is the pleasure? Pleasure is really present. Why I'm running after? Why I'm running after? So when you are reflecting in your mind, the mind becomes totally clear and empty. And that helps us to start the inner journey. There are a couple of things we should understand. We have an illusion of control, that oh, I have controlled my mind. And one day this mind cheats you. So there is a limited nature of personal control in our life. If there is an intense attachment, this mind becomes uncontrolled. So I have to get rid of that attachment instead of paying too much attention on mastering the mind. I go deeper inside, contemplate, reflect. Let me find out why there is an attachment. Mind wants to associate with some object, some person. For what? For peace and happiness. So I have a reality check. So is the peace and happiness there outside? If it is not there, mind, why you are running? So that intensity of mind running after the object slows down. That is what we want to do in our journey of so-called controlling the mind. Controlling the mind. Then desire. Now we will talk about it. I'm just putting some ideas. There is a binding desire. There is unbinding desire. You have a desire to go to the restroom, you go to the restroom, come back, you start working. That action or that desire does not create any problem. You are hungry, you go to the kitchen and you eat. Finished. So it is an unbinding desires. Unbinding desires do not create any problem in your life. Then come to the binding desire. For the binding desire, your mind pulls you, pushes you, creates an hesitation. No, let me have it, let me have it, let me have it. It doesn't want you to sleep. It doesn't want you to leave the bed in the morning. Those thoughts and feelings are binding. It binds you. It holds you. It creates a sense of attachment. And if someone objects, you get agitated. That is a binding desire. So what is the binding desire? In moment of the binding desire, you are running after the object or a person in a relationship or a thing. You become obstinate, you are deeply attached, you react and you are angry, you are upset. But unbinding desire, there is no problem at all. I have to give you a lesson with 100% awareness and attention. Do you already see the moment we are face to face, I start the journey. I enjoy that. I feel a commitment What is that commitment? That you should come to the level from where I'm functioning. That is what the teachers of the Eastern wisdom wants for every seeker. Every seeker. So it is also an unbinding desire. But if I teach with a sense of ego, if I teach with a sense of sense of no, my motivation it is fixed on the money, then it will not work. That is when we are talking about controlling the uncontrollable. You are controlling the uncontrollable. You have to get rid of the control illusion. Just clearly don't treat that mind must be controlled. Let people say, don't say anything to them, but internally you recognize that no, I have not to control means no pressure, no stress, no fighting, no resistance. But I will do it by awareness and attention. I will contemplate and reflect, and then I see. I will tell my mind, you are compelling me to do this binding desire, but there is nothing in it, you will be frustrated. So it is better not to be frustrated, drop it here and now. Through communicating, through talking to your mind. That becomes your uh, uh, contemplation and reflection. Then what happens? Then you are not, your mind is ultimately in your control. Then only you can make it a faithful servant that we discussed in our previous talk. There is a kind of craziness in the modern world. One who is a president of the company wants to control the entire team. And still, there are some people, they simply say, yes, sir, but they remain out of control. Do you see that? Mom, you are so good. Now you are controlling your mom because you want something from her. You are not clear. You are using your binding desire to control the mom by such a, oh, no. Our journey is truthful, our journey is very clear, our journey is purely based on clarity, on wisdom, on in the sense of a gratitude, in the sense of reducing our ego. No, we are not going there. We are not going there. Another part that I'm using the term that is used in Eastern wisdom, the surrender. Surrender does not mean like a army surrenders. Surrender simply means I recognize the binding desire and then I change the direction by thinking. Desire keeps on changing. If there is an impulsive nature inside, there is a sense of attachment inside. Why? There is a sense of incompleteness in me. So that sense of incompleteness in me creates a desire to seek pleasure outside. Now pay attention. This is how you have to think. Oh, I have a sense of incompleteness. Then there is a desire for seeking something outside, and it constantly seeks, it forces. Means what? It means what? Our master says that I feel the sense of incompleteness inside me, and my mind forces me, the sense of completeness is outside, which is not possible. How can there be a sense of completeness outside and sense of wholeness outside? So internally there is a sense of incompleteness in me, and there is a sense of completeness has come. How it has come? By projection, by illusion, by wrong thinking, so that I keep running after those things, then this mind becomes uncontrollable. But when you recognize it, when you realize it, oh, this is just a delusion, that intensity of the mind that is running after something, it escapes, it runs away, that is surrender. So we have to recognize, we have to contemplate and reflect, we have to release that pressure in the mind. When you release the pressure in the mind, you can redirect the mind to go within. That is how we control the uncontrollable mind.